Excuse me, kind sir.
Sure.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Can you share with our viewers what you do for a living?
What I do for a living?
Yeah.
So Nissim, I
Yeah.
gotta ask you, was that video staged?
It was totally not staged. I happened to have been very annoyed. I was buying woman's deodorant. I didn't want anybody to see it. And he came up on me with the camera. And so that was me extremely angry and frustrated. That's the way it came out.
Well, for being angry and frustrated, you played it pretty well.
I think so.
Kind sir.
Sure.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Can you share with our viewers what you do for a living?
What I do for a living?
Yeah.
So Nissim, I
Yeah.
gotta ask you, was that video staged?
It was totally not staged. I happened to have been very annoyed. I was buying woman's deodorant. I didn't want anybody to see it. And he came up on me with the camera. And so that was me extremely angry and frustrated. That's the way it came out.
Well, for being angry and frustrated, you played it pretty well.
I think so.
Shalom, and giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honor to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone, teaching His truth that's going all around the earth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's your brother Atazwan from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis. We're going to dive into a quick lesson here. We saw that clip in the front of the Jake who is walking around in the earth thinking that he has converted to Judaism or walking around and calling himself Jewish. And here it is, he's the real Hebrew. Okay? You know, you can't make it up. And there have been a lot of Jakes who converted over to being a so-called Jewish, of being of the Jewish faith. I'll say it that way. Okay? And not understanding that you are the real chosen people. Okay? Now, we'll get into a few scriptures. You know, I don't have much. It shouldn't be long. We'll start right here in Jeremiah 1, Salakia 10 and 1. And it says, Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And Esau is a heathen, right? But in their Jewish faith, right, they say Esav. But they know that they're Esau. And they know that. Okay. But here you have a Jake who is unknowing that he is the real Hebrew and thinks he has converted over to this religion that, you know, first and foremost, you can't change your bloodline. Okay? You can change religion all you want. You can change your religion every day like you change your socks. But you can't change your bloodline. So, I don't know what this Jake thought he was doing. Okay? You can't convert from one nation people to another nation of people. Okay? But it just goes to show you how Jake is vexed in his mind, you know, not grounded, not rooted, doesn't know what the truth is. Okay? And thinking that these people are the people of the Lord and you think that you're going to escape the wrath of the Lord, right? Which is not going to happen for you because ultimately this dude is a 2/3 Jake, okay? Because you converted to a heathenistic custom, you see? Going on right here in verse 3, and that's what it says, for the customs of the people are vain, you see? So those are customs that those people have on that side that he has. That's a custom, right? A false religion, if you will. All right, so that you understand. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest and work the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe, right? Going into, of course, we know that goes down into what you would call the tree or the Christmas tree. But the whole point being is that the customs of the people are vain. And Jake doesn't know what he's in. You know, he thinks he's got something good with that pale red, big nosed wife of his. All right. And clearly he doesn't understand what the scriptures are. This is Psalms 83:1. It reads Psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silent, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee lift it up the head, right? And Esau, Edom, is a profane person, all right? And is outside of the blessings of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and who is the Lord's people? The real Israelites. You know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're the children of this book. We're the children of the highest power, Yahweh. Okay? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And we're hidden in the earth because nobody represents us. Nobody talks about us being the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We've been called all these other names pursuant to the curses, but called all these other names, right, and have no representation, right, with the nations, the other nations of the world. You see? Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? And so when it came to us, they wanted us to be considered as just basically booty or prey, all right, to the other nations, which the Lord scattered us to the four corners of the earth and spread us into all these different nations, right? So as a real nation of people, according to the world, we're not a nation because we're in all nations. So they named you after the land masses that they put their names on, you know, i.e. Canada, so you're Canadian, or i.e. American, and so on, right? But they don't look at you as a scattered Israelite. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, and these are your enemies. And Jake doesn't know that he sided with his number one top enemy, the Amalekites, right? Esau, Edom. The tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, see, their chief tribe, right? And here it is, he thinks that he's done something great. More than likely in his mind, he believes that, you know, he's in the truth, as we call it. You know, dressing up in all black and trying to grow curls on the side of his head. And he even sounds like them fucking people. By the way he pronounces his words, if you listen to it, he tries to sound just like them dirty bastards. Okay? Because his ugly wife is one of them. You know? But going on, it says, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hopen the children of Lot, Selah. And Psalms 83 is a real good chapter, you know, but it names our enemies. And first and foremost, you know, you see what? The tabernacles of Edom, man. They're number one, and they're at the top. Let's go over here to Hebrews 12 and 16, because Esau is what? Profane. And he's joined himself to a bunch of profane people, right? Not knowing that he's the real Hebrew. All right, 12 and 16 says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. You know, Esau was not given the blessing of the kingdom, but given the fatness of the earth, okay, for a temporary time. Who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears, right? There's no way for Esau to be saved because he's profane, all right? Now let's go over here and look at, in the definition, what profane means. All right, it says 1, relating or devoted to that which is not sacred or biblical. It says secular rather than religious. 2, of a person or their behavior not respectful of orthodox religious practice. Irreverent. Let me see here. Yeah, pretty much that's it. Let's see here. Profaneness in Jeremiah 23:15 is in the American Standard Revision or Revised Version. Ungodliness, profane. Ungodliness in the New Testament, profane occurs in the sense of unholy, godless, regardless of God and divine things. Okay, and it gives a list of scriptures where the word profane shows up, but it means that you're not godly. Okay. We read it again, verse 16, Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. All right. So Esau is not a godly person. All right. His lineage is not of godly people. And here this freaking dude is walking around like a big fat black walrus, trying to walk and sound and have the temperament of Esau, Edom, and niggas backwards. This is Obadiah 1, verse 1, and it reads, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom, right? What their, what's going to be considered, or what is their end, okay? Their end is going to be a horrible end, right? And they deserve it, right? We don't cry over them. Going on back to verse 1, it says, we have heard a rumor of the Lord, an ambassador is sent among the heathen, right? Because Esau is a heathen. All right. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. And that's how he talks. He talks just like them prideful goddamn Amalekites. He sounds just like them. He's taking on their ways, their customs, not understanding that he's the real Hebrew. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, let's jump down here to verse 6. Show you that it was talking about Esau, even though it's their tree or nation is referred to as Edom. Verse 6, how are the things that Esau searched out? How are the hidden things sought up? You see? Let's jump down to verse 8 here. We do a little jumping around here in this one chapter. Verse 8, shall I not in that day say, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? See, so they're the same people. Okay. Let's go down to 10. It says, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right. So he's amongst the enemies. Okay. Those people are his enemies. Let's go over here to Genesis. Genesis 27:34, because Esau has always hated Jake, all right, when he didn't get the blessing. So this is where you find the blessing. Genesis 27:34, and it reads, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, right? Though he sought it carefully with tears. You see, he was rejected. All right. That's what we read in Hebrews 12. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, it's not the right, he said, is not he rightly named Jacob, which means supplanter, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, which, they made a deal. Okay. And behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And that goes to show you how Esau is such a fucking liar. That's all they do is lie. No, he made a deal, to give away his birthright. But it was set up in the spirit by Yahweh Shem Yahushai anyway. But he made a deal, okay? And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and with wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Okay? Let's jump down here to verse 41, because this is the point. And Esau hated Jacob. See? So here he is. Jacob then joined himself to his enemy. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay? So they go all throughout the earth trying to get rid of us off the planet. And here this fool and went and joined himself with him because he's a 2/3 ass nigga. Whether it be, as we normally say, these jakes out here who are living life for the world, but even in this case, you joining a fake false religion thinking that you're doing something, all right? Okay? You're joined to the enemy, so you a heathen too, and you gonna get it as well, all right? When Yahweh Shem Yahushai starts tearing this place down, all you jakes out there, all right, who refuse to repent are going to get it, right? Now let's go back to here in Obadiah. Let's jump down. Let me see here. Let's jump down to verse 15. And it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, right? All you heathen going to get it. You 2/3 are heathen, no matter what it is you into, whether it be fake Judaism, whether it be Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, God of self, Scientology, all that other shit, that weird, crazy shit that's out there in the world. Whether you joined yourself to that, whichever one it may be, you're a heathen. Okay? And the rest of these heathen nation people. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as they have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob, right, because Jacob got the blessing, right, shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph, right, which would be your northern and southern kingdom, the house of Joseph, okay, will be the 10 tribes, a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. And when the Lord speaks something in the scriptures, it comes to pass. All right. And that's pretty much the size of it. You're not going to be able to get out of it. If you're a Jake out there and you belong to, as they call it, try not to get in trouble here by saying the words, but Judaism, right? You convert to walking around, calling yourself, as they would say, a Jew or Jewish is what I should say. All right, you going off. Verse 19, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plains of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria and Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's, right? So we're going to get all our land back, okay? All right, and Esau will be judged later on after 1,000 years shall be taken out of the earth, okay? I think that's all I wanted in there. We got one more. It's Ezekiel 36:1. It says, also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. All right, and this goes into what the Lord is going to do for the children of Israel, right, and for their land, all right, and heal their land, okay? But first, you got to understand how the Lord speaks against the heathens that have taken over his land. Okay, verse 2, thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy has said against you, aha, right? That's what they say. You can go back to, what was that? Coming to America, where Eddie Murphy is sitting in a barbershop as an old Jewish man, and he says that, aha, because that's what Esau does. That's what Edom does. Okay, they always use that little phrase right there. But anyway, Salakia, going back to it, it says, thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession, right? You know, and when you can't deny that these people are at the top of the food chain in every industry. Okay, you know them by the names that they use, right? It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's entertainment, whether it's sports, whether it's the freaking everything they put on television, the Oscars, the Grammys, whatever it is, they're the ones who's running it. Okay, the law association, the medical association, the board of education, everything that you look at, you're gonna find them Amalekite names at the top. Okay. Verse 3, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are all taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power to the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valley, and to desolate waters, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about, right? And that's what's happened to that land over there now. Okay, therefore thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. You see it? And that's another way of saying Esau, Edom, all right? Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right, and that's why they're in the possession of that area now and still trying to push those Ishmaelites out. Okay. Verse 6, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame, right? And you're starting to see that now everywhere in the earth. They hate those people, okay? Verse 8, and we'll stop right here. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for ye are at hand to come, right? So things will go back to the way the Lord originally had it when the day of the Lord really comes, all right, and decimates that place as well. You know, we talk about Babylon the Great, that place going to get hit as well. all right? Them heathens gonna have to be taken out of that land, all right? So pretty much that's it for the lesson. Like I said, I saw that clip, and you know, Jake walking around in the earth thinking he's an Amalekite when you're the real Hebrew, you know. And the Lord always put things out there for an example for us to learn from, right? That we take it and filter it through the scriptures to show you the madness that's going on in the earth, and why you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you need to repent and come out of all those fake, false religions before it's too late, all right? The day of the Lord is upon this place, all right? So with that, I'll end it right there. Shalom.